Nothing's gonna bring my daughter back.
A mother demands answers after her 15-year-old daughter is gunned down while walking her dog. Tonight, police are looking for the killer while a grieving family prays for justice. How did a wrong-way driver get on the West Park Tollway and cause a deadly crash, despite a wrong-way detection system on the toll road? We're talking to officials about what's being done to make sure the system is working. We all know prices are going up thanks to issues from the supply chain, so we're taking a closer look to see if families will find any relief soon.
We're suffering. Why that ping pong ball going back and forth and they forgetting to look down at us?
It's been more than 4 years since Hurricane Harvey, and relief dollars are still being held up by red tape. We're talking to people directly impacted by the holdup as they work to rebuild. But we start with a 15-year-old Diamond Alvarez, gunned down while walking her dog just blocks away from home in southwest Houston.
Her mother told ABC13 that her daughter was shot at 22 times. Diamond's death marks the 11th homicide so far this year that the Houston Police Department is investigating. ABC13 reporter Roxy Bustamante joins us live with more from the victim's family. Roxy?
Yeah, families, friends, and also neighbors have all been stopping by here at the makeshift memorial for Diamond Alvarez. Now, this is the area where police say that Alvarez was found by her mother, shot just last night. Now, her family and also her mother are visibly devastated. Her mother grieving and pleading with whoever is responsible for this to turn themselves in to police.
Nothing's gonna bring my daughter back.
Ana Machado lying down in the area where she found her daughter, Diamond Alvarez, shot multiple times.
I just told her I loved her and I was giving her CPR.
She says her daughter asked to walk their dog named Peanut Tuesday night. Machado says it was part of her daughter's daily routine. The family later heard several gunshots. Her mother says she knew something was wrong when the dog returned home without Diamond.
Right there and then I knew something was not okay. Something was wrong, and I felt my heart. I just started running.
The 15-year-old died as her mother was performing CPR. Investigators went door to door hoping someone caught a glimpse of who could have done this. Right now, all police have is that a dark-colored vehicle was seen leaving the area shortly after shots were fired.
Come forward, speak up, and whoever did it, cowards. She didn't deserve none of this.
Roxy Bustamante, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
And 28-year-old Sergio Davila Rodriguez is charged with 2 counts of intoxication manslaughter. Police say Davila Rodriguez lost control of his truck and hit a Kia going the opposite direction. That Kia then hit a tow truck that was towing another car. The crash was so violent an engine was blown out of a car, landing in the middle of the road. The driver of the Kia and a passenger in the truck died. Davila Rodriguez was injured and remains in the hospital. Well, we're months away from the 2022 election, but the campaign stops have definitely begun. Governor Greg Abbott stumping right here in Houston, picking up the endorsement of the police officers union. It's one of several stops he's made as part of his campaign. He discussed the challenges at the border and also touted the law he signed penalizing cities for defunding law enforcement. Of course, he's also trading political barbs with the Democratic gubernatorial candidate Beto O'Rourke. We heard from both men today, and coming up at 6:30, we'll break down what they both have to say about the border issues and bail reform.
City health officials have confirmed the COVID-19 death of a child under 10 years old. She is now the youngest person to die of COVID in Houston. We know that she did have underlying health conditions and died back in mid-October. We don't know, however, what variant she had. As of today, just under 4,000 people have died from COVID-19 in Houston. Again, only this child was under 10 years old. 7 of them were between the ages of 10 and 19. I want to take a closer look now at what we're seeing when it comes to COVID cases statewide. According to state health officials, right now the statewide positivity rate is just under 36%, meaning that's the percentage of tests that are coming back positive. Data from state health officials also shows us the number of new cases, hospitalizations, and deaths are all continuing to go up over the last week. In Texas, as of January 11th, state health officials say 57% of eligible Texans over the age of 5 are fully vaccinated. A little more than 67% have had at least one dose, and 18% have got their booster. Anybody 18 and older can get the Pfizer or Moderna booster. Kids between the ages of 12 and 17 are eligible for the Pfizer booster.
13 Investigates is keeping track of COVID-19 cases in our local schools. So here's the latest data that we have. There's more than 12,000 active COVID-19 cases reported today among students and staff at 32 Houston area school districts. Overall, there's nearly 3 times as many as active cases at area school districts compared to last Wednesday. Nearly every school district in our area has more active cases this week compared to this time last week. And of course, when it comes to COVID-19 testing, HISD is offering voluntary COVID testing for students and staff at most of the district's 276 campuses. Parents, though, must fill out a consent form before any student can be tested. And Spring Branch ISD is opening a testing site at Tully Stadium for students, their families, and district staff. In the meantime, you can find testing vaccination sites run by local health departments through links we have at ABC13.com. These will lead you to the dozens of free testing and vaccination locations across the area. And we'll talk more about the rise of Omicron in an upcoming virtual town hall. Morning anchor Rita Garcia will present your questions to the experts and community leaders. We'll begin streaming the town hall tomorrow night at 7.
Hurricane Harvey slammed our area more than 4 years ago, but some people are still living with its impacts. Recently, the government stopped giving out mitigation and relief funds, which really hurts communities like Kashmir Gardens. ABC 13's Erica Simon has more on neighbors' nightmares, which they say won't end.
Today, more than a dozen nonprofit group leaders and activists took a caravan around Northeast Houston to look at homes just like the one behind me. It's a little hard to tell, but it was left in disrepair after Hurricane Harvey and other environmental issues. People I spoke to say no one should be left to live like that. It's the storm we'll never forget. And the storm, folks like Carolyn Rivera and her neighbors in City Gas still haven't recovered from.
Plenty of us still in need to get the proper repair so that they can live safely in their homes.
Longtime Houstonians and members of SEER, Coalition for Environmental Equity and Resilience, gathered today to strategize and visit some of the properties that still need to be fixed up from Hurricane Harvey.
The funds are there, the community is ready to work, and we are here just to facilitate and connect.
Most of the homeowners on today's stops were elderly or have some kind of medical condition, so any help goes a long way. Last week, we told you how HUD deemed 628 pages of the General Land Office's action plan, quote, insufficient, and halted the distribution of $1.2 billion approved for flood mitigation projects in Texas following Harvey. GLO tells me they submitted their plan for approval in July 2021, but are just now finding out there's allegedly a problem. They went on to say that, quote, the partisan political game being played by the Biden administration is putting Texans at risk, end quote. Locals tell me they don't care who's responsible for helping them rebuild, the city, GLO, or the U.S. government. Someone needs to get involved fast.
We're suffering. Why that ping pong ball going back and forth and they forgetting to look down at us? I have a good idea. Let them come stay in our houses, we're going to stay in their houses, and we're going to see how fast it get done then.
Reporting in Northeast Houston, Erica Simon, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
HUD says the General Land Office has 45 days to give them paperwork detailing how their money would be spent to help communities and people at risk from natural disasters and climate change. Well, coming up, supply chain issues means you are spending more money at the store. We're taking a closer look at this issue and if families will find relief anytime soon.
The West Park Tollway has a wrong-way driver detection system, but how well is it working? It's being called into question. We're getting answers after a recent crash turned deadly. That's at 6:30.
And temperatures slightly warm up over the next couple of days, but a strong cold front expected to make its way in as we head into Saturday, bringing in some much cooler air and also some breezy winds just in time for Marathon Sunday. We'll take a closer look at your forecast coming up.
Major wrecks in the main lanes have cleared here in just the last 10 or 15 minutes, but we still have a lot of heavy traffic through our downtown interchanges. Here is your live look courtesy of Transtar. The Southwest Freeway headed inbound at Dunleavy, and yes, those drive times, you can see it. Heading through the heart of the city, you are still in the red along 59. The West Loop to downtown taking 20 minutes.